Welcome back. For more information on our top stories and others, please visit our website. It's channelstv.com. youtube.com/channelsweb has videos of all our shows. Also watch Channels Television's live stream on YouTube and other social media platforms using your mobile device browser, or download the Channels TV app for Android and iOS devices from their respective stores. And besides giving you access to news updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app has an eyewitness feature. You can use it to share those pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. We're still talking security matters, but this time in Yobe State, where Governor Mai Mala Buni has given residents of Buninyadi the assurance of adequate security. The governor, who described Buninyadi as a major commercial and agricultural hub of the state, says the area is now a shadow of itself owing to the activities of Boko Haram insurgents. Governor Buni explains that the government will continue with the police policies of the previous administrations to provide the dividends of democracy to the people. No fewer than 59 boys were killed by Boko Haram insurgents at the Federal Government College in Buninyadi on February the 25th, 2014, and 24 buildings of that school were burnt down. He was speaking during a visit to Buninyadi and Buningari, both in Juba local government area of the state. The River State Governor, Nyesom Wike, has given chiefs and leaders of Adoni local government area 72 hours to ensure the immediate release of 3 expatriates kidnapped in their area. The victims were involved in the construction of the Unity Road in the council when they were kidnapped, allegedly by youths in that area yesterday. Governor Wike warned that failure to secure the release of the victims will result in the withdrawal of the official recognition of all chiefs in the local government area and the cancellation of the Adoni part of the Unity Road project. He also mentioned that other communities across the state must take a cue and protect contractors and workers executing projects for them, as the same sanctions will be meted out to chiefs and leaders if contractors are forcefully taken away by youths in their community. No fewer than 18 people have died in an accident involving a passenger bus along the Akure-Owo Highway today. The police public relations officer of the Ondo State Command, Mr. Femi Joseph, says many of the victims were burnt beyond recognition, while their remains have been deposited at the mortuary of the State Specialist Hospital in Akure. On his part, the Deputy Corps Commander of the Ondo State Command of the Federal Road Safety Commission told our correspondent that the accident was caused by overspeeding when the bus driver was trying to avoid potholes on the road. Nigeria's transport infrastructure, especially rail and water transportation, has suffered neglect over the years, mainly due to lack of adequate attention and sufficient budgetary allocation. The situation has resulted in over-reliance on road infrastructure, with its attendant consequences, prompting renewed focus on rail. However, while the federal government has budgeted about 108 billion naira for rail projects, the former Minister of Transportation, Mr. Chibike Amici, says the country requires about $36 billion for the desired impact to be felt in the sector. Our correspondent, Chris Elems, has this report.
Transportation is a critical factor in growing economies. While it facilitates movement of people and materials within and outside the country's borders, it is also on its own a wealth-creating industry. With Nigeria's population at about 200 million people who are always on the move, the existing transport infrastructure in the country leaves much to be desired.
Simply because, one, there's no alternative. Two, it's also a case of the fact that government over years have not seen it as their responsibility to provide a safe, secure, functional and reliable public transport for its citizens.
While air travel appears to be the exclusive preserver for few, 11.7 million cars currently ply the 195,000 kilometers road network in the country. This has put pressure on our roads, leaving them in a deplorable state. Out of the 36 states in the country, 28 can be accessed through water, as the country boasts of 10,000 kilometers of waterways, though only less than half on that stretch is navigable seasonally. In spite of recent efforts to revamp the rail transport sector, Nigeria is yet to fully harness its less than 4,000-kilometer rail network nationwide, which serves as a viable alternative transportation means.
It's faster and it's compared to, even it's cheaper compared to road transport.
The recent challenge of the Apapa gridlock and its impact on the economy is a pointer to a poorly facilitated transport sector.
We have to link all our transport modes by rail, by road, and then connect the major international trade routes. That's the airport and the seaport.
While 80.22 billion naira is allocated in 2019 as counterpart funding for some rail projects, including Lagos-Kano, 27.12 billion naira is being budgeted for rehabilitation of various tracks, an allocation that seems quite short of the expected funds needed to revamp the sector.
For $1.4 billion for the Lagos-Ibadan so far. So all that noise you hear about, we are borrowing too much, it's not more than $2 billion.
And you said we needed
$36 billion to be able to construct what will make a meaning to the economy.
Whereas the minister expresses concern over the paucity of funds, this lawmaker feels more can be done given available resources.
Any country is spending 70% of total income on the current expenditure. You have a slow growth in terms of infrastructure development. And that's what we are facing. We must find a way to reduce our high costs.
For the country to play in the league where developed or developing nations play, it must ride on the wings of an effective and efficient transport system. That way opportunities will be created and standard of living enhanced. Chris Illems, Channels Television News.
Staying with transportation issues, the increase in the number of travelers using the ABUJA-KADUNA rail service as a result of the security challenge on the ABUJA-KADUNA expressway has triggered a call for more coaches to accommodate more passengers. The move is coming just weeks after the Senate passed a resolution asking the federal government to increase the number of coaches. Our next report takes a look at the operations of the ABUJA-KADUNA railway.
The ABUJA-KADUNA railway was created as an alternative to road travel. By road, passengers spend about 2 hours or less, which is almost the same by train. But most recently, following the increased kidnappings and killings on the ABUJA-KADUNA expressway, more travelers, even car owners who would normally drive, are now opting for the trains for safety reasons.
Because we've heard a lot of stories about what is going on the road, so to avoid stories that touch the heart.
All well known that there is an insecurity now in the highway. That is why most of the passengers prefer to come and join the train.
Though I normally drive before the train comes, but when they introduce train, I stop driving. I do enjoy the train so much.
You know, recently they've been complaining about the highway, kidnapping and all that. And since I'm going with my girl, just for safety and all that.
For others, beyond safety, it is convenient.
I can assure you it's convenient, and that is the only reason at the beginning. Because I think when it started, there was no issue of even insecurity.
Very comfortable, you can see we are not squeezed up. There is toilet facilities, and it's neat.
The ABUJA-KADUNA railway started operation in December 2014. It is a 186-kilometer line with standard gauge railway tracks from Idu to Kaduna. It has 9 stations and features both passenger and cargo trains. There are currently 2 sets of trains and 15 coaches on the service. One of the ticketing officers tells us that there is provision for minors and persons with special needs.
We have 4 types of ticket that we normally sell here. You have the express ticket, that is for the express train. We have that of the shuttle train. We have minor ticket, and we have special need ticket.
The operations manager of the rail service, Victor Adamu, insists that the issue of ticket racketeering is being looked into.
Anyone or any intending passengers that goes outside to purchase a ticket from anybody outside, not from the counter, you understand? We don't encourage that. So we encourage passengers to come at the train station. The first point of call is the ticket office, where you obtain your ticket. And the fare of our ticket are boldly written on your ticket. If you are overcharged, you can ask questions.
It impacts on agriculture.
The immediate past Minister of Transportation, Mr. Rotimi Amechi, had assured that electronic ticketing would commence as soon as the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission completes the necessary paperwork. The move is to ease the stress of queuing at the train stations and to tackle ticket racketeering. According to the operations manager, the train has a capacity of over 4,000, but is still not sufficient to accommodate the growing crowd.
We took delivery of 2 coaches from our other station from Agbo, so it has strengthened the stock that we have on ground just to serve the population, the people. The minister has traveled to China and other officials, negotiated. More coaches are coming, locomotives are coming.
He assures passengers of safety.
We are working in collaboration with all the security agencies, most especially the Nigerian Police Force, the Army, the Air Force. This train, you can see there is air surveillance on this train. You can see inside the train we have a lot of mobile policemen, both plainclothes security men are on this train. Right at the terminals, the stations, from here to Rigasa, we have 9 stations. We have received a lot of deployment of the Nigerian police force.
The ABUJA-KADUNA rail service has become a major means of transportation for passengers traveling on this route. With the comfort and experience Nigerians derive from their trips, they expect the federal government to provide more trains as well as coaches to sustain the tempo. Ultimately, travelers hope for improved safety on the road as a long-term measure to improving transportation along the ABUJA-KADUNA axis.